you. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Big D.
My name is Stick. I'm filling in for Neil Rule while he is out with the Golden Grizzlies calling some basketball games. But I'm joined today by four-time Stanley Cup champion D-Mac.
What's up?
And then, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, straight out of Wayne State and the Detroit Lions, Joik Bell is sitting in the big chair.
Hey, guys.
Hi, guys.
Joik, you ready for the weekend, man?
Let's go.
You seem weekend ready.
Weekend ready. Got to make a drive back down to the west side of the state. Fifth time in school history, my son's school has made it to the semifinals. The MHSAA semifinals. So we're going down there tomorrow, and then in the morning time, we're going to have like a send-off. So they got the fire truck and everything at 8:15 in the morning. Sending them off to Jenison to go play, DeWitt.
Ooh, DeWitt's always got a solid squad.
Even I know that's a good team.
Right now, they're number one. They're number one in the, I guess, on that side of the state. And then you have King High School, number one in the state over here. So
they're Division III then, right?
Yep, D3.
Yeah,
yep.
King's no joke. We got to cover a couple of their games this year.
Oh,
King is no joke.
No, King, the head coach is actually my former teammate from Wayne State.
Yep,
Ty Spencer.
Yep, Ty's a great guy, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if your son's team wins this week, next week they're playing at Ford Field for a state championship.
Yeah, so I think King, they have to get through, Madison? Or I don't know who they have to play today.
I'll have to pull up the MHSAA, but yeah, King, listen, their quarterback is unbelievable, and that's why he's, I think, the third top-ranked quarterback in the entire nation. So, yeah, if you want to see a good game, go watch King play. But hopefully your son teams plays them next week at Ford Field.
This is going to be a good game.
That'd be great,
It's going to be a good game.
So do me a favor, though, when you're driving across the state, don't do what I did last night. I ran out of gas.
What?
I ran out of gas, man.
I'm electric.
Joey had to come get me on the side of the road with a gas can, fill it up. Just
shout out to Joey.
Joey's a legend, first of all.
I'm gonna tell you this. I had a lot of close calls with my car. Like I remember I pulled up to a charging station with 0%. Like 0%.
What happens if you run out of juice and then you're at the side of the road?
It's the same thing. They'll just they'll tow you to the charging station and you charge up.
I thought people in Teslas driving past me were just laughing because you see me trying to put gas in the car. It's spilling all over the place.
No, we don't laugh at you. We just look at you and say, "Oh, I remember those days."
You just call me a peasant.
I remember those days.
I ran out of gas. I remember I ran out of gas during training camp. I had my family came in town. You're in training camp. And I went home to visit them, and I took my playbook home. We had like the surface pads. And I get there, and I'm chilling with the family. I leave. I go back to the hotel. Next morning, I get to I'm heading to the office, and luckily I go early, and I realized I left my playbook at home. So I had to leave the team hotel, rush home, and as I'm getting off the exit, I look down, and I'm like, "Dang, I got 14 miles left." And so as I'm getting off, about to get to the exit, I'm down to 0. And the exit is right in front of me, and I run out of gas right there. Had to call my sister. She came down. They gave me. She brought my playbook. I gassed. Brought me some gas, like in a Gatorade thing. I put it in there. It was enough. It was enough to get me to up the ramp.
A Gatorade bottle?
Yeah. And I said, just wherever you grab, put some gas in it. Bring it to me. I can't be late. And so I put it in the tank. Drove up to the tank and filled up the rest, and then rushed back. And made it there. Didn't park my car. Parked my car in front of the facility. Ran in and made it into meetings with like a minute to spare. I said, and then during the meeting, I got up as if I was going to the bathroom. Parked my car and then went back in the meeting. They thought I just went to the bathroom. So.
Yeah, it's never a fun experience.
No,
when it was cold as hell like it was last night. But anyways, good people stopped, tried to help. So, yeah, don't run out of gas. But speaking of running out of gas, do you guys want to talk about the Atlanta Falcons or do you want to talk about the Red Wings game from last night?
Well, they're both gasless. Yeah. But why don't we get hockey out of the way?
All right.
I'm wearing my Red Wings shirt today to inspire.
And the shoes to match,
these
though.
Yeah,
put the shoes up.
When I put these on, I was like, and these are my Nikes. These are my version of Jordans. These
Crispy.
are Air D-Max, right? Knockoffs. But, when I put them on this morning, I was thinking Joik. But, this is the ebbs and flows, right? And what they're proving right now is they got to find a way to win on the road. And if you tune in every Wednesday like you do for the bonus or go on to the YouTube and check out Pucking Around with D-Mac, the positives to last night is what I sort of commented on, and that's that secondary scoring, third and fourth line, what they bring. Well, last night, Giovanni Smith, my guy, was back in the lineup, was able to greasy goal. They don't ask how, they ask how many, but go into the net, and you could just see the puck didn't hit the back of the net. It doesn't have to, but the ref was right there, so good for him. And also, Joey Valeno gets on the board, but this is the ebbs and flows of the season that I've been talking about, where the consistency just isn't there. It was nice to see Dylan Larkin with the false positive, and I think that, we see this throughout the league. Different teams are going to have to deal with COVID. You saw the Ottawa Senators get 3 of their games canceled, but
Larkin
just
had 5 shots on goal last night, so he was active. So that's good.
No, it's just one of those games, and Vegas is a tough place to play, but this is the difference, right? This is the difference. Why this team, when you say, they're exciting to watch, yeah, but they still have to find a way to play that 60-minute game. And hey, you can't be mad. What did I talk about the other day? Nice to see Big Earn, who I focused on, also getting in there physically, and big, strong kid, and that's the team toughness about it. So doesn't mean wins and losses, but they play for each other. They're exciting to watch, but they got to figure out a way to win on the road.
This is my question. When they fight in hockey, and that's part of the culture, why can't we do that in the NFL? Why can't we?
I don't know.
You guys just like to drag each other around with your face mask. Wouldn't I love to? Hey, like in junior, right? Like, and this rule has been taken away because of concussions, whatever. But I'll do a pucking around as like junior fights and stuff. But the whole thing, joint, buckets off, right? Because you wear the visor and you bucket off, and then you square up. So maybe if the linemen would take off their helmet, or whoever wanted to fight, they go over to a fighting ring. Maybe it's outside the playing field, so it doesn't involve the game. In football, they take off their helmet, they take off their shoulder pads, and it turns into like
it's just, if you just look at even in baseball, when they clear the benches,
right?
Like that's part of the game. They clear the benches,
right?
And but you get the basketball. Oh, the Malice and the game is not played that way. They do it in football. Oh, there's not sportsmanship. Oh, that's not the way this game is played. But you do it in hockey or baseball. That's cool.
Right, and that's weird because football is probably the most physical, or one of the most physical sports.
That's what I'm saying. Who's making the rules? Who's making these rules that this is okay for hockey, but it's not okay for basketball?
Hockey went away from this for a while.
Men are making the rules. I just kidding.
No, but didn't hockey go away from fighting for a while? I remember they tried to take it completely out of the game, and that sucked as a hockey fan.
Well, they didn't try to take it, but they put the rules in. They put the tie-down rule in. They put the instigator rule, and they put the aggressor rule in. You look at the way that fight happened last night was... Like when I talk about it being a 0-0 game, Rasmussen takes a big hit. It was clean and stuff like this, but this is sort of like the momentum. Ernie's trying to bring some momentum on a 0-0 game, and sometimes it backfires. But he had the right the intentions. Were,
if you can't beat them, you beat them, right? And
that's what it's doing. I don't know what that rule is. It's just because that's the stupidest thing, watching guys with helmets on. And I'm a guy who used to punch helmets too, but you can punch a hockey helmet off with a good punch. A football helmet, that thing's tough to get off. So, I mean, it'd be more serious, I guess, if the guys took their helmets off and would punch each other in the face.
Some guys,
Is there anybody you would want to square up with when you were playing?
I mean, it's nobody I have like
in the back of your brain, like, man, I wish I could have just thrown on him.
Nah, because I would instigate and I would flop sometimes, like just for the heck of it, because I always seen it. It's so funny. I remember we were playing Miami, and I'm gonna get the film of this. It's still up there, and I can't remember who it was, but he ended up signing a huge deal the next year with the Dolphins, or a year or two later. But it was getting towards the end of the play. He got tackled. Golden Tate got tackled, but they didn't blow the whistle yet. And I air hold the guy. Boom. And the play was kind of, so he hit the ground. He got up, and it's funny how when you get hit, you get up, you look around and see who you need to go get.
Right.
And that's how he looked. And they blew the whistle by the time he got up. And when he got up, he was looking around. He saw me there, and he pushed me. And it was a good push, but it wasn't like anything egregious. And I fall back and I throw my hands up in the air, and I know I'm in front of the ref, so I'm selling it. and I hit the ground, and all you see is Coach Kyle will run it down the sideline, pointing, he hit our guy. And they throw the flag.
You got the flag?
Yeah, I got the flag.
There we go.
I got the flag. Yeah, it was a flag on him, and it was a flag because Golden Tate had got face mask. So it was a double whammy. But yeah, that was I watched that like numerous times, and I laughed my butt off. Now the funny thing is, I ran into this guy again. I'm in London as an ambassador for the Lions, and I'm there. They have like one guy from each team that's playing in London that year go there in the summer. So I'm there. So I wake up early in the morning. I'll go down. I'm on the elliptical, and I'm doing my cardio. And I see two guys in the pool. And they're working out. And there was a guy that I hit. That was in the pool. And so we talked about the play.
He remembered it?
Yeah, he remembered it.
Oh, yeah.
He said, oh, man. He said, you had me hot. I said, I know, man. It was. I said,
but
you know,
anytime you earhole somebody.
That's like, I got you, bro. I got you. It's like,
I got
fair
you.
enough.
We laughed about it though,
Yeah.
there, because it was funny how it happened. But if you watch it on film and how I'm pointing at him while I'm on the ground, it's hilarious, man.
I could see you taunting him afterwards,
you know
too.
what, Joy? We'll have to dig that up.
I'll
to see
dig
if we
it
can
up, man.
find
I
it.
promise I'll find it and I'll bring it to the show sometime next week.
But yeah, it would be great if football players could fight it out on the field like hockey players do. But, you know, it's all different.
Because it's just the penalty in football. You can find way more.
That's the one thing I love about football, though, is the offsetting penalties. Like
yeah.
when this
Replay.
guy just kicks the hell out of him and he gets up and punches him back. Flag on both. Boys will be boys. It never happened. Let's play it again.
Yeah, offset.
Let's try again.
Offset.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about the NFL is that offsetting penalty. It's great.
Well, now they put in the taunting rule, right?
Oh,
Which is
God.
sort of like,
Get that outta here.
the unsportsmanlike. This is his first warning.
Right. The yellow card, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the Red Wings lost last night. They're playing the Coyotes tomorrow night. You got them winning that game, D-Mac?
Yeah, they have to win that game.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody pounds on the Coyotes or where they're at. It's a get-right game.
That's our get-right game?
It's a get-right game.
Like that. Well, another team had a get-right game last night, and it was not the Atlanta Falcons.
It definitely was not.
We're going to talk about Mac Jones, and we're going to talk about the Patriots and just their dynasty coming up next right here on Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network.
Big D.
Yeah. Oh, got to talk about my bookie? Oh, man. Sorry about that. My bookie, if you are a betting person, gambling person, this is the spot for you. Much big games happening this weekend. Obviously, got Michigan State, Ohio State, which I think that spread is way out of whack. But you can start by doubling your first deposit instantly at my bookie. Double your money before you even place a bet, and all you have to do is sign up using promo code Woodward. So go to mybookie.com right now, enter promo code Woodward. Plus, you got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on Dallas, which we think is going to be a high-scoring game, so maybe you want to take the over there. But do it. Go to mybookie.com right now, enter promo code Woodward. And if you have a problem gambling, please call the gambling hotline at 1-800-270-7117. That is the Michigan Gambling Hotline.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network and heard on the Roar right here in the Motor City. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. D-Max on the desk. Joik is in the chair. We got Fish Sawyer in here. And last night, we got to watch a decent football game if you're a Patriots fan. The Patriots beat the Falcons 25-0. It was a shutout. It was a beatdown. It was just Bill Belichick showing off his big brain, essentially. And we were watching the Falcons kind of just fall off the cliff that they've been slowly falling off for the past 3 years. But what did you think of the game last night, Joik?
It was a massacre. But no, I mean, we talked about it at the beginning of the show, right? I don't think I've ever seen a game when you have every quarterback on the roster throw an interception. I don't think that's ever been done in NFL history, where you put every quarterback in, and each quarterback threw a pick.
Yeah, at the end of the game, it got really weird.
And it wasn't
They're
even close. It was like Rosen's first throw.
Yeah,
Like
Rosen, one
yeah,
of 3 with an interception.
And then you go in, you put in, is it Felipe, Franks, and you put him in, and then he goes after he throws one pass, and that's an interception.
Yep.
And that iced the game. I mean, they were able to ice the game after that. I mean, Matt Ryan. I mean, he threw 2 picks himself. You know, he went 19 for 28 for 153. You know, if you look at Mac Jones, his numbers aren't eye-popping. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but he went 22 for 26.
That's Brady ball,
that's
right?
Brady ball.
That used to be the knock on Tom Brady. He's not your fantasy quarterback that's going to get you 40 points a game, but you want the real-life quarterback that's going to get you the W's.
They're going to get you the W, right?
Yep.
Right.
You know what you got me thinking, though? Right, and we didn't cover this, and we maybe bring this up because Rex Ryan had brought this up, former coach of the Jets, about Robert Saleh and about what we have here in Detroit. You know what? Like, I guess the conversation to me was, wow, the Atlanta Falcons haven't been the same since the half of the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Like, it's just they have not recovered from blowing that lead in the Super Bowl. Yeah. But it got me thinking, going, man, I'm okay being a Lions fan with where we're at and all the disarray and not winning a game, but hearing all the talk about our coach and that our team doesn't quit and that we're looking for talent, that we don't have it, that we've got. As Neil talks about the draft capital, about the salary cap, about the fact that we have pretty near, unless of injury, 6 of the 7 guys that they've drafted play. Right. And be a part. There's a future here. And really what it got me looking at last night is going, man, I'm happy to be a Lions fan. I would hate to be a Falcons fan. And when I brought this up to you, Stick, you sort of laughed. But I said, because there's no ebb and flow with us. Right. Right? We're here, down here. Right. You're the epitome that should be the poster child, in my opinion, of the Detroit Lions fan base is this man, Sam Day's reaction to the field goal off the bar, losing by Tucker for Baltimore, because the excitement and the down and just the disbelief, right? That's who being a Lions fan is. But when I say that, I have hope. Right. Right? Atlanta, I'm looking at that, and that is, I mean, somebody in our thread loves to use gaslight. Man, this is nuclear over there, and I wouldn't want to be there. And there's about 4 organizations I think that I wouldn't want to be a part of. So, to me, watching that game last night made me glad to be a Lions fan, and gave me something with what we have here. I don't know if it's weird if anybody else feels that, but
it's funny you say that, because Mike Greenberg and, like you said, Rex Ryan, they were on Get Up, and they were talking about Robert Saleh and the Jets, and they were just talking about how the team, every week, they come out and just lay an egg. They laid down. Their defense has let up 30 points a game like the past 3 games, and they're just not in it. And then they said, but then you look at Detroit, and yes, they don't have the talent, and, Rex Ryan's famous, for, hey, if you're going to let me, or no, that was Bill Parcells, hey, if you're going to let me cook dinner, let me shop for the groceries. Right. And that's kind of the situation Dan Campbell's in. He hasn't shopped for any of these groceries, really, but he's still trying to put a nice dinner on the table. And they said that they would take Dan Campbell over Saleh, which I know Saleh was somebody I wanted here in Detroit as well.
This is chop.
It's a chop?
It's chop. Whatever ingredients you have there, go out there and make a dish with it, right? If we talk about the Patriots and the Falcons, I don't know what it is with Matt Ryan. I don't know if they can win with him. I don't know if he's washed. I don't know if things aren't clicking. I don't know if things not clicking, Steven. Like it's not clicking. But you look at the Patriots, and it's funny, we talk about Mac Jones, we talk about Tom Brady, the comparison. Do you have that clip real quick? This within the first 10 career starts. Look at the win-loss: 73, 6-4. Completion percentage 66.1 to Mac Jones 69. Passing yards 203 for Tom Brady a game, 233 yards for Mac Jones. Passing touchdown to interception is 16-7 to Mac Jones 13-7, and then passing rating is 94.5 to Mac Jones 94.1. So they're tremendously and scarily, like, this is crazy.
You know
Like,
how
I didn't think about that. I never. Did you ever think those numbers would be that close? Those are scary close.
It's
Body
just
type
it's a
is
tribute to
close.
the Patriots, man. Like that's what it is. Like as somebody who hates the Patriots because they win so much, I'm always like, man, what's that like to have
It just
6
adds-
Super Bowls?
it goes
They
to
just replace the next guy.
It
It's
goes
easy.
to system, and anybody out there listening, is
Body
you
of
know
work.
why I feel better about what I just said is because Maz says I'm out of my mind.
Yeah,
Tom
I saw that in
Mazley
the
says
chat.
I'm out of my mind. He trade places with the Falcons. This is the same guy that hates the 7-time Super Bowl champion that can't give him respect. So what do you want? Typical New Yorker, Maz, you be you, and that lets me know I'm right. In my opinion, I'm right for me anyway.
Well, I think what Maz is focusing on is the moment, right? You're
Yeah.
focusing on the future because
yeah,
how many
I'm
games are we into this
focusing
right
on.
now?
You want what's Atlanta got to do? They got to get rid of everybody and start over. We're going to be ahead of where they're at.
Yeah, all they
You
have
know,
is picks.
I don't. Yeah, I would like to have a 26-3 lead in the Super Bowl and try to close it off at halftime.
Would
and
you-
be in this
would you-
position.
I don't know.
Would
man.
you
Right
want-
there, baby.
Would
Right
you want to keep
there.
Matt Ryan?
What's
It's
that?
not that bad.
Would you want to keep Matt Ryan?
It's similar to the
Matty
Stafford
Ice?
situation. It's like this has been our guy for 12, 13 years.
Yeah,
He's
it's time
still
to go.
serviceable, but he's not the guy that's going to take us over the top.
That's what
right?
it is. He needs to go somewhere else where.
But where does Matt Ryan go? I mean, maybe like a Washington or something like
Hey,
that.
I can see Matt Ryan if Aaron Rodgers leaves, Green Bay. I can see him going there next year, or talking. This conversation.
You kind of feel bad for Matt Ryan in a little bit of a way. I mean, like the guy is a good quarterback, but nobody looks at him as elite. Period.
You look at Matt Ryan. I mean, if Matt Ryan leaves Atlanta and goes to Green Bay, the only thing I'm gonna feel sorry for is he left Atlanta and went to Green Bay.
The weather
Yeah, the weather and the lifestyle.
and no Magic City.
What's Magic City?
I don't know. It's they have great chicken wings. I heard.
You heard?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's pow 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 pow.
They had
bing,
good fries.
bing.
They had good fries.
They do have good fries. Actually, really good fries.
I might go check
Lou
it out
Williams,
next time.
Yeah, when you're down in Atlanta, just tell them I sent you, and you'll be taken care of.
Well, not Lou
Okay.
Williams.
What I asked for?
But either way,
Swifty.
Ask
for Swifty.
How do the Patriots continuously get their draft picks right like this? Though?
Well-
I mean, like we always talk about, if we have the high draft pick, we need the high
I'ma
draft
tell
pick.
you
We need
how.
the number one to get
I'ma
that
tell
next
you what they
quarterback.
do.
They took Mac Jones, what, 15?
I'm gonna tell you what they do. They go out and they get the players, right? Their scouting department is really good. They go out and they get these players that everyone else looks over. They look over them, right? And they get good talent in the lower round. I'll give you a perfect example. I went to the combine, and what they do is you have meetings with multiple teams. You'll meet with the Falcons. You'll meet with the Patriots. You'll meet with the Texans, the Rams, the Lions. You'll have about 20 interviews, right? I went there. I had just won the Harlan Hill. I started in the Senior Bowl. I put up ridiculous numbers. You know how many interviews I had at the combine? I had one interview. I interviewed with one team at the combine. I didn't have 20 interviews.
What team?
Patriots.
Oh, all right.
And so when I killed the interview, and I thought they would have drafted me, but they were smart. They knew no one else was looking at me, and so they just tried to get me after the draft. So after the draft, they were the first thing that called me, and they gave me the best offer. Like, we'll pay you this. You come here. I said, okay, give me 5 minutes. Let me talk to my agent. They said, hurry up. I'll talk to my agent. I tell my family I'm going to the Patriots. They're excited. He's calling them back. It's 2 minutes later. He looks at me as I'm telling my family I'm going. Looks at me, said they're not answering the phone. I'll call them back. It's about 10 minutes later. I call him back. Say, yeah, this is Joy Bell. I want to sign. He said, we thought you signed with someone else. We gave your contract to someone else.
And what year was this?
This is my year I came out 2010.
Okay.
And so fast forward, I end up going to the Bills. Bills cut me, put me on practice squad. I get the call from the Patriots, I think week 3 of the season. All right. I turned them down, and I end up going to Philly. I end up going to the Eagles. That same week I turned them down. You know what they signed? And they signed Danny Woodhead.
Oh.
So when I turned them down, they got Danny Woodhead, and then Danny Woodhead went to the Patriots and had a great career there. And I remember I played against him when I was on the Colts and he was on the Patriots, and we talked after the game, and I told him I was proud of him. I was happy to see him, doing well. And he said, "Man, I'm happy for you." He said, "D2, we got to represent." I said, "Yeah." And so And that's what the Patriots do. They go out and they get the guys that no one's looking at, and they bring them into a system that works for them.
There it is.
And that's what makes them
the system.
They draft system.
They draft system, but the thing is, they have players that they draft that they know that's going to fit their system. And if you look at them, like a lot of those receivers they get are all like a Danny Woodhead, Wes Welker.
Look at Aguilar that they got. I mean, he was a first-round draft pick who's been passed around the league, and now he's not blowing up the world, but he's serviceable in that offense.
Yeah, exactly.
He had the only touchdown last night.
That's how it goes, and that's what they do well, and they've been doing it, and that's why they are so consistent.
I'm just jealous.
They just need a quarterback.
I'm just jealous, man. Like, I really am. The fact they move off Tom Brady, and you're like, all right, finally, the Patriots are going to suck for a little bit, you know? But no, they took a year off last year, took their lumps, and now they're back.
Drafting system and knowing talent or whatever, they're drafting differently. How many times do we hear in a draft, best available? Right. Well, just because you have a talent pool of high-ranking talented guys doesn't mean they mesh. You bring guys in that fit the system you play. And a lot of it with the Patriots, it's the intelligence factor.
That's the major
thing. Any of the
thing.
best coaches, Belichick, and I played for Scotty Bowman, and you look at the roster, you had to have that hockey IQ to be able to implement and play and trust that you would do your job. We had the left wing lock system that nobody could figure out, and it always tried to stay in front of it, but we played it to a T.
Did you guys see the Madden Belichick little teaser that they're doing on Thanksgiving? That they're talking about Belichick and Madden and their relationship, and Madden talking about Belichick was like, have you ever met somebody where you think you're really good at something and know something till you talk to them and realize you're not as smart as you think you are and they're miles ahead of you? Yep. And for Madden to say that about Belichick to me was crazy, and that was early in Belichick's career. Now the wizard is beyond anything that we can imagine.
But you have to too look at the continuity between him and Josh McDaniels if you're going to say the offensive coordinator, because there's something to it, and it's system, it's coaching. We mentioned it earlier. You know, Kyle Van Noy, who we had here. Why is he resurrected?
Why is he going in there and causing? You know, gets one. He gets a pick. Takes it back. Yeah, he takes it back. He makes a key. Third down stop where I think it might have been third and one, and goes in there, gets a sack. And why is Kyle Van Noy, being effective there in New England, but he wasn't effective here in Detroit? And then that's when you have to think about the system that he was put in.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely, because even when he followed Brian Flores down to Miami, he didn't really quite have the same year that he's had already with the Patriots. So, Flores is a system guy. And that's the weird thing about Belichick, though, is his system's awesome, but the guys that break away, they can't do it. They can't do it.
It's like when they're there, they got the ingredients and the secret, and then when they leave and they try to recreate it, they're missing an ingredient.
Well, yeah, like McDaniels. Everybody was talking about him being the next Patriots head coach, but when he went and tried it on his own, he couldn't do it. But that being said, Bill Belichick tried it with the Browns at first and didn't get it done. It took a couple landing spots.
You ever seen Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah.
The secret ingredient to my secret ingredient soup is, it was no secret ingredient. Just made it with love. Just made it with love. And there's something that Bill Belichick has that other coaches just don't have.
You know what? Yeah, that's true. But speaking of football and speaking of love, we got a family party coming up soon, right?
Yeah, we do. The whole Woodward sports fam going to be down at the Fowling warehouse. I believe that's next Tuesday. We're going to be down there having our little holiday party. The 30th. So if you're looking for a great place to host your holiday party, or you're just looking for something fun to do on the weekends or weekdays, Fowling Warehouse. If you don't know what Fowling is, it's right there on your screen. But if you're listening on the radio, it's pretty much bowling pins set up, and you try to knock them down with a football. The game was invented by a Detroiter, and that's the guy who owns the Fowling Warehouse. So if you want the authenticity of it, that's where you need to go. It's in Hamtramck. It's so much fun. They do corporate parties. They do bachelorette parties. They do bachelor parties. You can bring your own food there, and they have bars that you can buy your booze and all that good stuff. $2 mystery beer. But overall, just a fun night out with friends, and I cannot wait for the Woodward Sports Fowling night, because we got a bunch of alphas around here that when we were talking about just playing flag football, everyone said they were the quarterback. Nobody wanted to play any other position but quarterback, so we'll see how the arms work out at Fowling Warehouse. Go down this weekend, have a good time. It's right in Hamtramck.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
I'm not saying it, Joey. You can go.
Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday.
Friday. There we go. It's the Woodward Sports Network. This is Big D Energy. My name is Stick. Feeling in. I always say feeling in for Neil Rule because kneeling in. I don't know. I always mess that up.
I don't
Filling
know
in for Neil Rule. D-Max here. Joik Bell, former Lion. We also have Sawyer and Fish in the sound booth.
Stick is always, you always come in the clutch. I tell you that.
Thanks, man.
And you're professional at what you do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm what you call a utility guy.
Yeah, no, jack of all trades.
There you go. Yeah, just plug me in. I'll
You know
go,
what they
man.
say about jack of all trades?
Good at everything, great at nothing.
Jack of all trade is a master of none.
Right.
But a jack of all trade is still better than a master of one.
Okay.
That's the full statement.
Hey, man, I'll take any compliment I can get. It's the weekend. I'm ready to go. And I could use a Lions win this weekend. And they're playing the Browns, who have kind of been down and out. The Browns' defense has been absolutely awful. But the Browns are getting Nick Chubb back this week, and that's got to be the major focus of the Lions. Can we stop the Browns' running game? And we also got to talk about the quarterback play, because Tim Boyle may be starting at quarterback.
TB12, baby.
TB12. We got our own TB12 here in
I
Detroit.
heard Ryan say that this morning on
and
Fox.
this is the thing, though. This is the thing. He comes out, he plays well. Do you keep him? And say they win this game. Do you keep him at quarterback?
Yeah.
For the rest of the year?
Yeah. If he plays well, why not? I mean, once
No,
you go
because
there, you can't go. It's hard to go back.
This is what it is, though. This is what it's going to be.
Management.
And no, it's the nature of the beast. It's like, if we pay you, we have to play you. It's the nature of the beast.
Right.
That's what it is. You're going to sit here and we're going to pay you. If we're not going to play you, we just cut you and go get somebody else.
Well, they
If
signed
that's the
him out
case.
of Green Bay because they were impressed with what they saw in Green Bay.
That's what I'm saying. But if he's better than Goff, right, and you guys are going to bench Goff, and he's not going to play, then why have him on the team?
Well, you traded for him. You have to pay him.
Well, right. So you pay him, right? So
Right.
you pay him. You have to play him.
Do you believe the Goff injury, or do you think that's kind of just an excuse to get another quarterback in?
No. He's hurt.
He's hurt.
I'm not gonna call it an injury.
Is he hurt or is he injured? Because
No,
you know the
he's hurt.
difference.
He's hurt.
Then he can play if he's hurt, right?
Right. He can play, but is a 65-70% Goff, better than 100%, Boyles, Tim Boyles, and that's the question you have to ask yourself.
Right.
And we can't answer that because we're not there at practice every day.
Well,
We're
last
not.
year we got to see Blau play. We got to see Stafford, and we got to see Driscoll. We still have Blau on the roster. Stafford's gone, and Driscoll now they're turning into a tight end. Did you see that in Houston? They're turning Driscoll into a tight end. So our quarterback who played last year, other teams don't even see him as a valuable quarterback anymore, and that's where we're at in our quarterback room. But now we have Tim Boyle. We're passing up Blau for some reason. Why do you think they're skipping Blau? Because in everybody's head, wasn't he like the next up on the depth chart?
We thought. But obviously the coaches see something that we can't see, and so we sit back and we look at their decision. And I don't know. You put Boyles out there, he's not playing well, and then you put Blau out there and see what he does, and then we can base our decisions off what we see. But like I said, we haven't seen enough.
What does that do for the confidence in the locker room when you're rotating through quarterbacks? Because it's the most important position on the field. Do you give up, as a defensive lineman? I know you have that competitive nature in you, but at the end of the day,
No.
it's like, man, these guys can't even figure out the damn quarterback?
No, that's not the case. Because they're going to go out there, they're going to play. And the thing is this, though. When you're going out there and they're rushing, and they're moving the ball down the field, and you're out there, you guys just did about 13, 14 plays on the field, and then you get the ball back, and then your offense goes out there and goes 3 and out, and now you're right back out there for another 13, 14 more plays, and then get the ball back, and then 3 and out, and then you're like, dang. I don't think it's like we're going to give up, but it's just like at this point, we're tired now.
Right.
We're tired. Come on.
Yeah, how's Atlanta's defense feeling about Matt Ryan out there last night? I was like, man, the guy's hurt. He's not getting it done. At what point are you like, I know teamwork is teamwork, but if that's not the guy, like it's got to be tough when your guy can't get it done.
Yeah, but you're a pro.
Okay.
You got to go out, and you're always playing because there's always the tape on you, and you know what? You don't want that's as much tape as there is and video and stuff like this. No, you're a professional, because if you're not playing you're playing for your next job. It's stuff like this. So you go out and you take pride in it and try to do your job the best it is. That's what being a pro.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they are getting paid to be out there, but
no, you get paid to be out there, and so if he's complaining about a hip. I remember when Stafford took a hit in the ribs, the very first play of the game, and he couldn't breathe when he was calling the play in the huddle. Like, he couldn't breathe. First play of the game, they sent the blitz off the edge. The tackle was confused. He didn't know if he was going to block his guy, pick up the blitz, and I tried to pick up one, confused me. Stafford took a big hit, a huge hit. He came back in the huddle, just right. He was trying to call the play. I'm like, this guy is not going to make it through this game. And guess what? We won that game, right? We won. He led us to victory. He never came out the game, and just that tough type of quarterback.
Yeah, that's one thing you could never question about Stafford. Whether you liked him or didn't like him, his toughness is unquestioned.
Unquestioned. Like coming in on Mondays and send him on the training room table there before I get there. He's strapped up to about 1,000 different things are attached to his body. I'm like, you okay, Matt? I'm all right. He had this like little smirk. I'm all right, every single week. And so, if Matt if he's out there playing, he has to figure it out. Like, you can't go out there and get goose egged. You can't go out there and get goose egged.
Right.
Like that's.
Yeah.
What? and that's the part that that's kind of tough. Like, not even a field goal. Like that's tough to get goose egg, and then have to go home and see your wife and see your kids.
Look them in the eye.
Know
that you can't score a point.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah.
We couldn't get it done, babe.
Well, do you think the Lions are going to do well? I mean, the Cleveland defense have been awful.
I told you we're going to win. I told you this
is the week.
Well, he's got eggs on it.
I got eggs on it.
This is the week we're going to get the win, man.
This is the week. Even though at this point in time, if they tie,
no.
If they tie,
no more ties.
If they tie again, then I don't lose. I don't lose. Like, I'm happy with another tie. But like I said, I don't see Houston winning another game, so I don't want us to win.
Hello.
That is the only thing that can come out. That's the only thing good that can come out of this season. Only thing is us, getting that high draft pick now. We want that number one. We want that number one overall.
And we want the Rams to keep losing, so that draft pick keeps going up. At least
absolutely.
I'm rooting against the Rams. I don't know why.
Absolutely.
Some people
I'm rooting against
them.
the Rams, but I'm pulling for Stafford. I want them to continue to play well.
Stafford could throw for 10,000 yards as long as they lose every game.
Exactly.
I'm happy with that. That's great.
But now that you're here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm going to bring up, but I brought it up earlier. But you wanted to bring out your nice car on a wintry day in Michigan last weekend, which is Jamar Jefferson.
Yep.
You brought him out. You showed what he could do.
Great.
And then guess what happens?
He gets injured.
The thing we were all worried about. But you're right, because you've been I just wanted to say that you've been on that train since day one of whatever else. What were your thoughts going through that emotion of he breaks it and you're going, yeah, I knew it. Suck on it. Suck eggs, everybody.
I actually was texting Kennedy Broadwell from the morning show because me and her had talked about Jamar Jefferson earlier in that day, and I was like, Jamar, touchdown! And then, of course, she texted me back like 10 seconds later. And typical Lions fashion, he's being carted off the field. But I love that kid. I think he's a great plant your foot in the ground, straight up field runner, and that's what the Lions need. I thought he was one of the best zone running backs coming out of college, so I was excited that we landed him so late. But yeah, It's the Lions fan. It's the same thing you saw during the Justin Tucker thing. Like, oh, it's great. It's not it. Oh, no. Oh,
Do you think he throw for over 5,000 this year?
Stafford?
Yeah.
He should.
He should.
He should.
I mean, you think he might get close? He might be between 5 and 6.
I mean, if the last two games are any indication, though, he ain't going to make it.
Yeah.
The first 7, though, he looked damn good.
Yeah.
So we'll see what this bye week does for him. But speaking of throwing in L.A., Josh Reynolds is now a Lion. He's probably going to make his first start this week. Do you think that's going to affect the offense at all? It gives us one wide receiver to throw to?
No. I mean, but you still got Hockenson. right?
Yeah, but I'm saying it was like wide receiver specific.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Right? Yes, I think it'll affect us. This is probably be the way that the defense, how they prepare against us, and another guy that they can prepare against. But you look around, like, who do we have to throw? Like, who's going to throw to him?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I thought you were in trouble, Joy.
Boyle's gonna throw to him, and at least there's a guy in there that has some mobility, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be see a guy. I mean, like, come on. I mean, 1.8 yards, air yards to throw by Goff just doesn't cut it. Let's see them have to at least respect the play action and stuff like this. I'm hoping that
they have to. So
the one thing that through all this, I mean, DeAndre Swift, not only what he's done on the ground and out of the backfield, but also too the durability. Right, his durability every game that he's out there. Right, knock on wood. So
don't do not say that right now.
D-Mac.
No. He was already questionable this week. Don't do that. He was already
but really that speaks even more.
I know. No, but that's the thing. So we're gonna walk around on eggshells. No, but it's like this week. I think that because it's the same thing.
Right.
Every week.
But that speaks even more to our running game, that we haven't had a guy that can take the top off the defense, and everybody knows that's all we can do is run the ball, and we're still doing it effectively.
I'm going to tell you why we're walking on eggshells. We're walking on eggshells because last time someone said something positive about a person, Lamar Jackson not throwing any picks in the red zone. 59.
Oh, that was Stick.
I know it was Stick.
That wasn't me.
I know it wasn't you.
Okay, I was just saying. Yeah, Stick's not allowed to say stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't say stuff like that.
I'll say something. Listen,
it wasn't our team.
You guys, you know what?
What's up?
Guess what? Just so you know, DeAndre Swift, I'll even let him have the D-Mac machete. Yes, exactly. I will deliver this to Cleveland if he needs it. I don't think he will this week. He's going to be just fine. But you can get yourself one of these or the lamps, the lights. I've been talking about it for so long. Coast Portland, been around since 1919. Go to coastportland.com, WSN20 for 20% off. Yes, as the weather changes, your outdoor needs, everything. We're in Michigan or wherever you are. You might need one of these. So coastportland.com, WSN20. Tell them Big D Energy sticks in for Neil Rule, Joik Bell, D-Mac. We'll be right back. Woodward Sports Network.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Did you know mortgage rates are still at generational lows? If you haven't refinanced your home loan yet, there's still time. Now is your second chance to refinance. You could lower your monthly payment, eliminate credit card debt, or even take cash out by using your home's equity. Call Hall Financial now to get started with your free 5-minute mortgage review. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Is Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody that's participating in the chat today. We appreciate you and everybody listening on the Roar around the Motor City. My name is Stick. Neil Rule is out calling Oakland University basketball on the road, so make sure if you're a big Grizzlies fan, you listen for Neil. D-Mac's in here with us. Of course, Joik Bell, Sawyer, and Fish. Big game this weekend. I was shocked by the spread when this came out, though. Ohio State, Michigan State, and Ohio State is favored by 19 points, which I thought is almost insulting to Michigan State just because of what they've shown this season, where they're at. And they're a damn good team. They just signed Mel Tucker, or they're about to sign Mel Tucker. It's been rumored that that's closed to a $90 million deal over 10 years. So if I'm a Michigan State fan, I'm feeling good momentum going into this weekend. If I can get this win over OSU and I can, follow it up against Penn State, I'm looking at playing in Indy. Michigan State controls their own destiny right now, but to be a 19-point dog is tough. How do you feel this game's going to play out tomorrow?
No, I mean, I like it because thinking back is that every time Michigan State in the past history has been counted out or had no shot, they've showed up. I'm not worried about any lapse of them competing. the big question is, can they shore down that short defensive passing game over the middle that has killed them?
Right.
I expect Kenneth Walker. I expect them to be able to score. I expect them to be running the ball. This ain't the same Ohio State team, but they've gotten better. This isn't the Ohio State team that lost to Oregon early in the year. This is a better Ohio State, but it's a great test for this Michigan State program. So they're going to lay it all on the line. I think it's a closer game, but I can see why people would say that, right? Because they don't give the respect to Michigan to be able to hold Ohio State to under 45 or 50. Because you got to figure.
Right.
What is it? 40 to 20, 21. I got to think Michigan's going to put 28 at least up, right? Maybe 31. So that means are you counting on Ohio State to put 50 up? I don't know. Again, I said this earlier in the week. It comes down when you have the so-called legitimate guy, Heisman Trophy running candidate. Well, you got to control the clock.
Right.
And if we see that sort of game, I think that the closer it stays, obviously, it doesn't take a brain surgeon, but that helps Michigan State with what they have. So the turnover battle, right? Michigan State cannot afford to turn over the ball. They cannot start the game like they did against Purdue and then give it up, because that game will end up worse than the Purdue
There's
final.
no room for error.
There's no room for error, right. But everything they've done to this point, it's built them. And even when they've fallen down against Purdue after they beat Michigan, stuff like this, sometimes that's a slap in the face to get you back to reality. And you know what? I expect a close game. If I had to put my mortgage and my house on it, I'd take Ohio State. But with the points, I'm taking MSU.
Yeah, I think 19 is ridiculous. And
then you know what they did? You know why they have it there, right? The reason that they have it at that amount, because at any point in time throughout this game, if say Ohio State, they go down, they score, and then defensively they stop them, and then Ohio State goes back down to score again, that means you have to start throwing the ball, right? And that kind of takes Kenneth Walker out of the game. So at any point in time in the game where Kenneth Walker cannot be effective,
that makes sense.
He can't be utilized, then that's going to be that's going to hinder MSU. And I've been saying this all year, that they have a good offense. The defense is shaky. Ohio State is going to they're going to march the ball down time and time and time again. There might be a few stops here and there, but I don't see this MSU defense stopping this Ohio State offense. I just don't see it.
Yeah, like when they talk about boxing matches, you talk about matchups, and this is kind of worst-case scenario matchup for Michigan State because their secondary is probably the weakest part of their whole team, and they're going up against an Ohio State team with probably three of the best wide receivers in college. So really, if the secondary can hold, I think Michigan State will stay in the game and will keep it close. Kenneth Walker's got to keep the ball.
You think it's going to hold? You think
it's got to be a bad
MSU going to hold C.J. Stroud?
It's got to be a bad.
Stop him?
I don't, but they played this bend but don't break defense all year long. We saw it break a couple times, and this is the game that they all have to step up and play beyond themselves essentially.
All right, I'm gonna say this: they had three receivers. All right, two are over 100, well over 100, and he had one scratching, knocking on the door of a 100-yard game receiving. Right. Then you had two running backs, one over 100, one at 98 yards, scratching a 100-yard rushing game again. And this is against Purdue, all right, a team that just beat MSU by double digits,
right.
And so we sit back and we say, yeah, it's a wake-up call. Let's see what happens this weekend. But I don't think.
But does anybody? This is my next point, right? Does anybody use that? Okay, what Purdue did to Michigan State. There's tape for Ohio State, and they're a different team, but it's the same thing as not to get ahead. But the fact Michigan State's playing Ohio State this week, I think it benefits Michigan playing them a week later after having some tape on it. So
and Ohio State's got to get up for this game. Like this, even though it's a 19-point spread, Ohio State should be taking this game seriously because Michigan State is a serious football team.
They are.
So it's tough to get up week after week like that.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is this, though. If I was MSU and we go out there for that coin toss, we got it. We win the coin toss. I want the ball. If we're going to go down, we're going to score. And that's like we're here.
Right.
Like we're here. We're not bagging down. And we'll take whatever comes our way. And that's like a mentality going into that game. Give us the ball. We want the ball.
It'll be interesting how this game goes, the final score, to see what the spread is next week against Michigan. Because right now, you probably, what would you think it would be? 16, 15? I
still think I would think like 11. Cause
all right.
It's at U of M, but I'm not a Vegas odds
But the
maker.
argument, but after this game, and not only, and I think this is the best situation for Michigan, right? Sort of having this game against Maryland tune up, and then having tape. And so it plays out. So hopefully Michigan State keeps it close. There's a lot of questions will be answered as well as a lot won't be answered. But this next 2 weeks here in this state, and don't get it wrong, Ryan Day, that Ohio State, as much as Michigan and Michigan State have Ohio State circled on the calendar, they got these two.
Yeah.
Because of Mel Tucker. Because it's a respect case, and then to Michigan, it's beat the living crap out of them.
Now, this is a hypothetical. If MSU happens to go down here and they win this game, I wouldn't want to be a Michigan fan next week.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want to be because then that's where, that's going to take this game to a whole nother level.
Now you have.
Now you have.
Gosh, back against the wall.
Back against the wall.
Get it done. That's the thing. If
game,
Michigan State wants to really, and you look at with the contract to their coach that we're talking about, and the boosters stepping up and doing everything else, that means they're making a statement that as we're here. What a better way to do it than not only beat Ohio State, put you in the conversation for the playoffs, but force your rivals down the road to do the same thing.
Yep.
Oh, I might have to use my birthday wish this year.
Well, Mel Tucker is rumored to sign that contract. Another hypothetical, what if State just gets steamrolled? Are you still feeling as good about Mel Tucker and this $9 million a year contract if Michigan State goes into Ohio State and loses by 25?
Because
it doesn't phase
that has no preference on it's where you're going moving forward.
Okay.
It's the same thing as anybody else who wants to take umbrage to the statement that I'd rather be a Lions fan. That's right now. We're not talking history. We're talking right now. We're in a better spot.
Right.
So if they lose, no, because you have your guy, right? And going into this season, we all thought we were going to get trunked by Ohio State. So things change. So they got their guy. State's got their guy. No matter what happens this weekend, because you mentioned it, he knows how bad his secondary is.
Right.
It's not going to be able to hide. And if this Ohio State team is a national champion competitive team that's supposed to be there with the Alabamas and the Georgias and stuff like this, well, then they're going to show out. And their receivers are going to show out. So we'll see. Now they got to play the game. Oh, shocker.
And it's at noon tomorrow.
Noon.
So I know exactly where I'm going to be. I'm going to be on my couch watching that game tomorrow. That's my Saturday plan.
You and Wood? You and the Wood?
Me and Woodward, the Wonder Pup.
Woodward, the Wonder Pup? Absolutely.
I love that little guy.
He's great.
But, yeah, Mel Tucker signing that big contract.
I'm looking at it right now that, he goes down into Ohio State, say they lose, right, whatever. Do you think that he should be getting paid more than Ryan Day?
Oof.
Oh, dude, the best. Ryan Day's going to re-up if he doesn't go anywhere else. All the other coaches
what do you think
are
his contract?
happy. If you don't
they are happy because what
he's going to make
just
more.
done, he just took
rising tide.
Yeah, he just took the market and took it here.
Right.
So all the coaches are
Ryan
ecstatic
Day
right
deserves
now.
more.
They're ecstatic right now. And so for Ryan Day, if I'm Ryan Day, I'm at home. I'm licking my chops.
Right. If I put a number on Michigan State and go to my boosters, I just beat you 56-13, like Joey 2 times thinks it's going to be. Right. And he's going to go, I need
115.
Right.
115. I need 115 million.
Whatever.
He should get it. I mean, honestly, like if this is the way it's going, and the thing is with NIL and all that stuff now, because like the thing with Mel Tucker is it's not like Michigan State's pulling that out of their athletic department. They're getting boosters to give them that money, so it's a wash no matter what. They can't lose.
No.
Ishbia's putting up that loot, and it's like, okay, come on, we'll pay the coach that much. You giving us the money? And they are. So hopefully Ohio State has some boosters to pay Ryan Day like that.
Yeah, they got some boosters.
There's some money at Ohio State?
They got some money. They got a couple dollars.
A couple dollars?
They got a couple dollars.
You ever partied at Ohio State? You ever been down to Columbus?
No.
I went down there once because I went to University of Detroit and I was in a fraternity, and they had another fraternity that was brothers with us down there, and we went and partied with the Ohio State kids. They're fun, but at the end of the day, it's Ohio State.
It's Ohio State.
It's Ohio
State. Now, when I was in school, they used to have a thing at at MSU. It was called Fake the Funk.
Okay.
It's called Fake the Funk, and it was in the winter. I think it was after each football season or something like that, and so. I went the last year they had it. They had a lot of people performing. I think they had Juvenile. I think they had T-Pain.
Nice.
I think they had T-Pain there. And we all went to me and like 5 teammates hopped in the car, went down to MSU, went to the Fake the Fun, went to the after party, and came back. Came back. It's a lot more to the story, but the whole gif of it. Yeah, it was a great time. It was a good time. Went down there, came back. Everybody made it back safe and sound. I got back the next day around 6 p.m. It was good.
Stick, you know why you didn't have that great of a time?
What?
Because we probably weren't drinking the proper vodka back then.
I was not. I was drinking that nickel vodka or anything that I could get over the counter.
But if you had a choice and you had to go back,
now that I'm an adult and I actually have taste buds, I'm taking Gypsy Vodka the entire way. Because that is what you need to do if you want to get the pregame moment for tomorrow. Have your little Bloody Marys. We did that Bloody Gypsies up at the Michigan State game, and people at Hopcat absolutely loved it. So if you're looking for a nice, smooth, clean vodka, and the guys are here from Michigan that made it, and so you got to support Michigan. Gypsy Vodka, it's delicious, especially chilled. Fish sent us up some shots while we were doing our live broadcast and did it on air. I was expecting to make that, that face that you make sometimes when it's a little strong, but no, it was nice. It was easy, smooth tasting. Gypsy Vodka. Make sure you pick yours up today. If you go to your store and they don't have it, ask for it by name and they will order it for you. Gypsy Vodka.
Woodward Sports is giving you a chance to sit front row on Thanksgiving. All you have to do is survive our squid game. Nope, our turkey games. Listen every day to the Morning Woodward Show at 9 a.m. Big D Energy at noon. And the bottom line at 3 p.m. for your chance to qualify. The winner of turkey games will get tickets to the Thanksgiving Day Detroit game.
Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
Plus a turkey. So if you think you can master our turkey games challenges, watch, listen, and win. Make sure you're following @Woodward Sports on all social media, or go to woodwardsports.com for additional chances to qualify. May the best turkey win.
All right, now is the time for you to qualify to get into our turkey games. We're going to make you compete in 3 competitions, similar to Squid Games, except you're not actually going to die. You're going to get front row tickets to the Lions, and it's real simple to qualify, whether you're watching us on YouTube right now. All we want you to do in the chat, all you got to put is fish. The word fish in the chat right now, and that'll enter you to be qualified to get into the finals so you can have 2 tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game downtown. We'll be down there broadcasting live before and after the game, so make sure you get into our turkey games. Next Monday is your last chance to qualify, but you can also go to woodwardsports.com and enter there and enter on social media. But right now, enter fish in the chat and you will get qualified. It is Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. Neil Rule is out calling Oakland University basketball, so go Grizz. D-Mac is here, Joik Bell, Fish, and of course Sawyer. So we just touched on Michigan State, Ohio State. Michigan got to handle business, too, before they get to Ohio State next weekend, which, by the way, for the Ohio State-Michigan game, we will be out broadcasting live at the Brown Jug for the pregame. So if you want to pregame with us for the Michigan-Ohio State game, come see us at the Brown Jug in Ann Arbor. It's going to be a fun time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, D-Mac just found out.
I'm actually... Hey, Sawyer, so that's at noon. If you're in Lansing, I'll do it now. Sawyer, throw up the wrestling thing. Doing a wrestling thing in Lansing tomorrow. If you're done, and Eureka, Caleb Stills needs my help. He called me down. Me and the Purge got some history. So if you're down there after you go to the Brown Jug, come on over to the wrestling. So looks like we're all partying East Lansing tomorrow.
So you're going to East Lansing for this?
Yeah, I'm going. Actually, I'll be up in Flint from 11 to 12, giving out turkeys with for the veterans.
Oh, nice, man.
And then I'll be in Lansing.
Okay, all right.
I missed that.
D-Mac is the man of the people.
What's that?
You're the man of the people, man.
Hey,
Everybody
you know
I
what?
meet that's ever met you is just so complimentary of how you treated them and like all you've
When
done.
I say
for
I'm
them.
a battery and they're my power stick, you know what? That's the one thing. Is just I'm grateful. You know, it's all, and it's just trying to help people realize, you know, it's all about people, right? You're the same way. It's bringing people together, and that's what I love. So, I mean, we know cannabis, we know wrestling are two of my favorite things, and my goal is to be the Joe Gibbs of that in the state of Michigan. So,
nice.
You know, till then, so that's part of it.
Well, you're doing a great job,
You
man.
know, funny. So MSU fans. So we talk about partying at the Ohio State. We talk about partying at MSU, and MSU fans said they would take 3 losses for 1 win against Ohio State. I don't know how I feel about that.
3 basketball losses for 1 football win against Ohio State.
Exactly.
I would take that all day. I would take up to 7 basketball losses for a win against Ohio State this weekend.
You sound like you know what? You sound like the kids and the parents of my son high school. They can lose 5 games out the year, right? There's only 9 games. As long as they beat Lakeshore. They're happy. That's how people feel about Ohio State here in Michigan. Like, so, and I asked you, I said, if U of M loses every game of the year, but they beat MSU in Ohio State, you say you'll be happy with that.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I'd be happy with that, but my thought process is Michigan State's going to do well in the Big Ten tournament, and then once they get into the NCAA tournament, who cares about these early season losses? It's kind of the Tom Izzo way. He's always losing 5-6 games early in the season because he stacks his schedule like that to make his team better. So I would take basketball losses all day right now for a Michigan State win on Saturday. All day. Would you trade those?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right now. Yeah, but it's also, too, because you look back and you say, well, you're a little bit, it's like Thanksgiving dinner. You're a little bit full. You know, the basketball team's produced for you in the past. So you can, you know, Uncle Tom, you can take a little bit of a seat in the back. You'll sacrifice for down the road. So I think tell me, guys, but I think most for this year, right, we trade that in. And I think most people would say if MSU beats Ohio State, right, what about Michigan State not even making the basketball tournament? If you go that hard. But that guarantees them in the 4.
Ooh.
Is it that bad?
That would be tough. I don't know.
But you know what it is, too? You said, like, you know, you're stacking up, you know, like they stack all these games up like you stack up your plate for Thanksgiving, right? And your eyes is looking down, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to eat all this. And your stomach is saying, no, we can't eat all of that. We can't eat all of that. No, you will. You will. And stop arguing with me. And so that's kind of what it is right now with the MSU schedule. Like, they might lose a few, like you said, but what happens if it doesn't make them better in the end? What happens if it crushes your team confidence?
I trust in Izzo. He's proven his formula to me, like we were talking systems. He's proven that, hey, I'm going to schedule North Carolina, Duke, Kansas. I'm going to schedule all the blue bloods early in the season, take my lumps, and that way come, March,
but
Izzo time.
It's true, though, because, when we're talking about these different schedules and you're talking basketball, you see it more than that, but that's the blueprint to Izzo to make his teams tougher in the long run. Right? That's some of the question against, the football program in Michigan. We're talking about strength of schedules and stuff like this. You got to realize sometimes those teams don't want to play these other teams because it doesn't benefit them. But I love the fact that Coach Izzo's been consistent.
Anytime,
consistent
anywhere.
Every year, and that's sort of the blueprint of it. And we had Coach Campy, coach of the Oakland University Grizzlies, on, and it's the same thing sort of for him. You look at them. What's that mean to that Oakland Grizzlies team to go into Oklahoma State and to get a win? Well, they come back, they win in Toledo, now they're in Alabama. Neil Rule on the call, joining ESPN Plus tonight.
So we talked about Izzo, right, at the beginning of the show. We didn't bring it up on the show. And, he's a god at MSU. He's not going anywhere. He'll lead when he wants to lead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They worship the water he walks on, not grass or concrete, not the ground. The water he
floats.
Walks. He floats, right? Do you think Mel Tucker will be the next Izzo of MSU?
I think he has to be. I mean, they're paying him to be, right? It's going to be tough to emulate anything that Izzo's done. That's just tough. He's on Mount Rushmore, baby.
I mean, what
is he ever going to be up there with the Sabins?
I mean, you got to. I don't think that's fair.
Does Izzo have?
That's not fair because of tenure. Right? You got to wait until at least you're half the tenure of a guy who's been there for whatever. So you're saying, well, do you expect Mel Tucker to live through this contract? No, I don't. I expect either, it's going to be either revamped along the way if he is that Nick Saban, Tom Izzo, the sort of guy for the program, or does he have aspirations to coach at a higher level, but he won't leave. Right, with this commitment, this tells me, and I could be wrong, I'm just speculating, this tells me is that until Michigan State is that program that is a destination, has everything else, he's committed to them till that. So he could be, but way too early.
Hey, but like you said, MSU it wasn't the stepping stone for him, but it was the destination. And I think when I talked to Sick, I asked what makes MSU that destination for coaches or for players? What's there so special about East Lansing that makes kids say, "Oh, I have to go there"?
Well, now it's a coach.
Yeah.
And it used to be in basketball, it would be the coach that brought it, but now the fact that they can bring the facilities, they can do this. You mentioned Mel Tucker said this is a destination in his mind, and speculating again, because he sees that program and the people and the boosters and everything else in place to take this school, right, to the next level, right? What's happening here is they're legitimately coming up to be able to put the money into the facilities, put the money into the coach, to be able to spotlight East Lansing. And that's the whole thing. That's why it's a destination.
I'm saying before, though.
Because he saw it as a place he could have uplifted and a place where he could go and get his money.
Well, and when you look at Michigan State, it can't be understated what D'Antonio did there while he was here. Michigan State has been in the college football playoffs, the Final Four. They have gone to Indianapolis and won the Big Ten. Michigan hasn't done that to
Good point, not starting from scratch.
Exactly.
As far as to the audience.
So if Mel Tucker's sitting on the outside watching D'Antonio oh, Michigan State can be this. You've seen it. It's been proven that with the right coach, you can take this team to a national championship level. And I think that's what I took away from his comment, is that, hey, he's been observing from the outside, and over the course of the last 10 years, Michigan State is a destination program, because how many other teams have been in that Final Four? Not many. It's Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State perennially, and then trickle some other people in there.
You know what it is? I think it's deeper than that, too. I think it goes back to, just his emotional tie to the Midwest, his emotional tie to MSU. Starting his career at MSU under Nick Saban. A lot of people don't started his career under Nick Saban, right? Left, came back. Is coming back now. He's originally from Cleveland. His wife is from Chicago, and so this is just what's the biggest program that sits between between Cleveland and Chicago, right? This is a destination spot for me, and I think that's what made it a destination for him, along with the other things that you talked about.
Yeah, and if you make Michigan State this winner, this perennial winner, you will be a god, and that's it. If you come into Michigan and do it, you're part of the Bo Schembechler. You're part of being the Michigan man. If you establish this at Michigan State, there's going to be statues to this guy forever.
If he wins say he goes here and wins a national title. Would you put him above Bo?
Oh, yeah.
Would you put him above Bo?
Yeah.
Bo's never won the national championship.
Yeah.
He's never won he's never won.
Yeah. I'll answer that for Neil, too. Yeah.
Do you put him above Lloyd Carr, though? Because Lloyd Carr got that half national championship.
I think that with the tenure or whatever, that it's, again, to the Izzo, he has the ability, because once he gets the tenure through it, he's ahead.
Okay.
So it's all the time, but immediately because of what he's done and what he's brought. And to the point, there's only a number of programs where to Mel Tucker that could look at it not only to be geographically to his liking, but also to a program that can escalate and you can leave your blueprint, right? Because it doesn't matter. Michigan is Bo Schembechler,
Right.
or Jim Harbaugh, or whatever else in the football, right? Just like Alabama's Nick Saban, Clemson's Dabo Sweeney. You know, like it's just the same sort of that. Florida State's Bobby Bowden.
This is going to be the only negative thing is if he goes here and then he has a season like this year, and then he has an off season next year, right? Gets cold next year, and then has another hot season. But speaking of hot and cold, have I told you about Northwestern Tech? Start a new career in the industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. To learn more today, go to northwesterntech.edu. I'm Joyke Bell. That's Stick. That's D-Mac. And this is Big D Energy. Big D! Big D!
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network, and shout out to everybody listening on the Roar right now. My name is Stick. Neil Rule is out. We have D-Mac, Darren McCarty, former Red Wing, in the building. We also have Joyke Bell, former Lion, here, along with Sawyer and Fish. And quick question for everybody. Where were you 17 years ago? And if you're like, man, 17 years, that's a long time. How the hell am I supposed to remember where I'm at? Well, there's one event that may trip your memory. The Malice at the Palace happened 17 years ago today. Ben Wallace, late in the game, going for a layup. Ron Artest cheap shots him in the back. Ben throws his head into the third row, and then Ron Artest proceeds to tuck his tail between his legs and not want any of that smoke. And you know, when Rasheed Wallace is playing peacemaker, you know things are about to pop off. It was a crazy moment. They obviously still talk about it in NBA circles. They released a documentary this year that was pretty much funded by the Pacers and only told one side of the story. But we got to see a little bit behind the curtain. And if you're watching on YouTube and watching us right now on Woodward Sports, you're seeing some of the highlights, or lowlights, if you want to call it, of this night. But yeah, I remember where I was at. Do you remember where you were at, D-Mac?
I think this was during the lockout, so I was out with Grinder. I think we were on the bus watching this. Yeah, it was crazy. And watching it back or whatever, the guy who wanted to fight the most was Steven Jackson. He would just bounce it around. But, yeah, this is the unfortunate situation. You know, don't condone any of that going into the crowd. It's happened in every sport every now and then. But, yeah, I mean, it
but
was,
hockey, they've taken people out of the crowd into the penalty box.
well, yeah, you know, if you fall into the penalty box or you got to expect Ty Domi beat somebody up in Philly in the penalty box. But yeah, I mean, the best part out of all of this is nobody got seriously hurt.
Right.
But I mean, the beer throw that hit our test was perfect.
You know,
One in a million.
One in a million, and because if it doesn't hit him, he doesn't even know it's there. It had to hit him the perfect way.
You know what it was, though? If this would have happened in hockey, this is part of the game. This is part of the game. I love this type of passion. I call it passion.
Yeah, but not to the crowd. You're gonna, and it's not for the bystanders.
Let's stop from the crowd part. But you know what? You know what though? At the end of the day, we are men. And, I don't care who you are, but you're not gonna just take a cup of beer and hit me with a cup of beer. D-Mac.
No, dude.
So,
I mean,
honestly, if Artest wanted to fight someone, he had Ben Wallace right there.
Yeah,
why'd he choose the little guy that throw the beer?
You know, fans are going to be fans, but at the end of the day, if you're going to be a fan, sit there, watch the game, cheer on your team, boo who you don't like, say what you're going to say, but when you go to hitting and causing harm to the players, then at that time, then it's fair game. I don't fault Artest, but at the same time, Like you could have, squared up with the guys that was on the court.
Right, and that, it could have been maintained
well, that big
between
first
the lines.
push would it should have been right back at Ben, and then it's right on the court, and everybody's jumping in and stuff like that. So where were you, Stick? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was. I had just moved into a house in Royal Oak. I had my roommate, and like the game was winding up, and I was a diehard Pistons fan then. Like I watched Pistons game. I watched the original, then I watched the replay on the overnights. Every Piston game I watched twice. Like that's just what I would do because I'm weird like that. So the game's wrapping up. We're turning on Madden, ready to play some Madden, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. And me and my buddy, we're just going nuts in the house. Like we're screaming at the TV, we're yelling at the TV. I'm cursing out everybody. And honestly, in that moment, I know a lot of people may take this the wrong way. I was proud of the city of Detroit because,
for sure.
Steven Jackson going into the crowd throwing punches afterwards, he's like, "This is my team. These are my ride or die. If they're in trouble, I'm in it too." And I was like, "Well, okay, then you got to understand the fans' perspective. That's my team. You're picking on another fan. You're picking on me too. So I'm getting involved now."
That was Detroit versus everybody before.
That was the inception of Detroit versus everybody.
Of it. The epitome of Detroit versus everybody. And where was I? I was back in Benton Harbor. I was a senior. No, I was a junior. It was 04. It was 04. I was a junior in high school. That was a long time ago. Yeah. And I watched it, and I wasn't living in Detroit yet. I wasn't here yet, but I was like, oh, man, everything I hear about Detroit, that's Detroit right here. And I couldn't wait to get here. Yeah,
and I thought that was a team galvanizing moment for that specific 04 team as well, because like Rashid had just gotten here type thing, and we were having a rough time getting past the Pacers the year before. The Pacers were a damn good team. People forget they were the #1 team in the league when this happened, and then it all went downhill from there because Artest got gone for the whole season. Jackson gone for the whole season. Jermaine O'Neal was gone for the whole season, but then appealed his and got back in like 30 games or something like that. But at the end of the day, this was a proud moment for Detroit, even though it's one of our worst moments. I don't condone throwing chairs at players and all that, but you got Ben Wallace's brother up there throwing haymakers, fighting for the fans. You got John Green, who makes the most miraculous cup throw in history, and then
you got Uncle West in there too.
Yeah,
you got World Wide West.
Yep, Rick Mahorn's in the stands trying to be a peacemaker, and don't start none, won't be nothing. And they started it, and our fans ended it.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good.
I just could not imagine being. I know people that were there, and they tell me that just that scene, it was just insanity. And
so I wonder who came in, got the fans out, got the players out. Like who broke it up? Was it security? How did they get up there? Because you seen the security that worked the stairs.
Right.
They're not breaking up any fights.
No, the dancing usher is going to try to get involved in that.
None of those ushers are none of them.
Well, the thing is, one of the things people complained about was that there wasn't enough security there. But it was at the end of the game, and security at the end of the game starts moving towards the exits to help people out. So a lot of the security that was in the arena was out of the arena gearing up for the end of the game and people leaving.
Traffic out.
That's why there was hardly any security there, period. And like watching that documentary, it was funny because somebody tried to arrest Reggie Miller because they didn't know that he was in plain suit clothes that game. So they didn't know what this guy's doing on the court, and the cops trying to arrest him. It's just chaos, absolute chaos. And you got the dude, Haddad, coming on the court and taking that sliding punch from Jermaine O'Neal. Oh, man, I could relive this moment over and over. It was such a weird, but
at the end of the day, galvanizing.
Yeah.
We've had some galvanizing moments here in Detroit that have been physical. So does that mean the Lions need to have a big brawl or something like that? Or
I thought when Jim Schwartz was here in that handshake, remember that? Yeah. I thought that was going to be a big moment to galvanize the team.
It said Larry Brown grabbing the mic trying to settle everyone down.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Guy had a perfect opportunity to throw a rear naked choke on Artest.
Was it Tinsley that came out, or was it Fred?
Where were you guys? Hold up. The fans that are watching it, where were you guys during the Malice in the Palace? Where were you? Were you guys at home? Were you guys at the game? Were you at a bar? Were you over at a friend's house? Where were you?
Yeah, I love one of the Pacers came back out with a dustpan, just swinging it at everybody. Like it was whatever could go wrong went wrong in that moment, and It's a moment that is a mark on Detroit sports history, but like I said, I wear it with a badge of honor because it showed that we're all in this together. Like, you go punch this dude, okay, fine, you're in the stands now. You're one of us. And it was a weird, great moment, but 17 years. It's so crazy to think
well,
of
I think
17
that's
years ago.
the whole point is that there's certain moments, and I mentioned a joint is like Friday, where were you? Just like a where were you moment in Detroit that we all have.
Right.
Different moments like that. I use, March 26, 97. Some guys in this room weren't even born. That's crazy. Like, that's the 17 years is like thinking back 2004. Oh, man, I only had 3 cups at that time.
Oh.
I still had 1 to go. But, it's about attitude, I guess, right? And now that the Palace isn't gone, now that Joe's not gone, these are the memories and the fact that if you were there, somebody in the chat mentioned that Kid Rock and Shelly were at that game, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's people that were there. I'm interested if anybody in the chat thread was at the game and what they remember, because it's sort of like after that, I think they limited the alcohol sales, beefed up the security, and events like stuff like that happens, then they're going to learn from it, but helped us win a championship eventually.
It did, and sometimes those are the weird things that unite a team, because when you see like you, D-Mac, I mean, when I got somebody on my team like you that I know no matter what happens, you got my back. I think that's what that moment proved to everybody that was on the Pistons roster at that time. Like, all right, we got Ben's back. Not only do we have Ben's back, we got the fans back. Like, we have everybody's back, and when you have that just cohesiveness throughout the whole organization, like, you can move mountains, and that's what they did that year.
No, they absolutely did.
Yeah, they brought it home. That was my first visualization of everything I heard about Detroit as far as the mentality, the mentality. And when I saw it, I wasn't living in Detroit, but I felt like I was part of that because I was from Michigan. I was a Pistons fan,
right?
And it was kind of dope to kind of see we're not backing down from anyone. And so when I ended up going to school here at Wayne State and being in the city right downtown, I was like, you know what, this is the city mentality. And so when I got to the Detroit Lions, it was the same. Before I even came to the Lions, I remember I was on the Saints, and you remember this too. I was on the Saints, and I was watching the game, the Lions versus the 49ers. And the 49ers won the game. Jim Harbaugh and Jim Schwartz met in the middle of the field.
Yep.
And to shake hands, and Jim Harbaugh kind of smacked Jim hand.
Gave him a hard shake.
Gave him a hard shake. It wasn't and so Jim ran up on him in the tunnel, and I'm watching it happen, and I see both teams right there in the tunnel. I see them getting real. It was getting a little aggressive. I'm just sitting there and I'm watching I would love to play for a team like that. I love, and I put it out there to the universe, and later on that year I was on the Lions.
Oh,
nice. So when I got back here, I always played with that mentality, and I love that mentality. I love the not bagging down. I loved everything about the Detroit culture, everything that we kind of built here, what we stand on. This is us, and we're here.
Right.
So it's exciting to see, man. Do you guys love that? Did you guys love that about Detroit? The fans, do you guys love that? I love it. Well,
whenever we've had good teams, that's been our MO. We're going to beat you. We're going to hurt you.
Even this year, if we look at that win-loss column, we're terrible. But watch the game. We're fighting. We're scrapping. We're scrapping. I love it.
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't want to play us. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, here comes the hard handshake. And this was a big moment for this team as well. And that's what Schwartz, he was great at doing, was getting us that attitude back. Because after 0-16, you need a rah-rah guy like Schwartz. And that's kind of where we are right now with Dan Campbell. You need somebody that you will fight for. And look at Harbaugh. Oh.
Hey, what was that? Hey, what was that? Hey, what was that? He's a little too excited there, Jim. A little too excited. You know how excited he looks like he is? He looks like he's excited like he's going to Lady Jane's for a haircut. Because, guys, you know what? We are a simple bunch. We like Sunday football, Thursday football, 5, 6, 7 days a week. Like the control of the remote in the palm of your hand. We like things uncomplicated. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, sit down, and before you know it, your hair is game ready. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Big D Energy here on this Friday. Stick, joint, D-Mac. We'll be right back. Big D. Big D.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. One mortgage myth we hear all the time is having to choose between a 15 or a 30-year fixed term. At Hall Financial, we offer the modern mortgage to create a flexible term that fits your unique financial situation. Our team of mortgage experts are available 7 days a week to review your goals and customize a solution for you. Get started today with a free 5-minute mortgage review at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. This is Big D Energy. My name is Stick. I'm filling in for Neil Rule. We got Darren McCarty at Darren McCarty 4 on socials. We got Joik Bell in here.
J5.
At Joik Bell on socials. And then, of course, we have Sawyer and Fish. So yesterday a picture leaked. Kind of blew up on our social media because the Lions or the Tigers have been courting a young Mr. Carlos Correa, and there's a picture of him and A.J. Hinch having breakfast yesterday, and I'm told that this breakfast went so well that it may have turned into lunch. And yes, the conversation was so good, they stayed until lunch. Yes, the Tigers badly need a shortstop. No, it doesn't mean Correa is getting close to signing with Detroit. Lots of offseason. So as much as you want to get excited about it, at the same time, nothing has been set in stone, but the conversation's there. And they're talking, and that's all you need. Just tell me I got a chance to land Carlos Correa. There was another picture of Correa was kind of like laid back in his seat, not the best body language that you want to see out of a meeting when it comes to millions of dollars. You want him leaning forward, engaged, and talking. But at the same time, the fact that they're even meeting, good things for the Tigers. What do you guys take away about that type of meeting? Because I'm sure both of you have had sit-downs with GMs and stuff like that, lunches, breakfasts. Do they mean anything, or are they just conversations?
Depends.
Go ahead, John.
They all mean something. No one's taking time out of their busy schedule, especially as a GM or a president of a team or a manager. No one's taking time out of their day to have a person come sit down to meet. It might not go anywhere, but it's an initial conversation, right? Right. So going there and having a conversation shows that we have some interest in you. Let's see where you are, right? And this might have been probably unofficial. Like, where's your mind at? Like, what are you thinking about? What do you want to accomplish? Like, what do you want to do? You want to be a part of something great? You want to go somewhere where you can be part of like a team with legendary history, a historic team. Like, where's your mind? You want to get the check? I don't know. I mean, this is the conversation they're having. So it means a lot, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
It means a lot, but it doesn't mean anything.
Well, I think in this case, it goes to show the relationship. Like, to me, it's more of there's a manager, there's a player, but it's deeper than that. Guys that have won championship in Houston, and they're friends. You know what I mean? So whether it's counsel, could be A.J. Hinch sitting there going, no, bro, your Yankees are offering you $400 million or whatever. We can offer you this. This is our plan. This is my game plan. Maybe he's sitting there going because the elephant in the room is A.J. Hinch has an out after the next year. Maybe they're talking about.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just saying.
No.
So what it is you have no idea, so don't worry about it. The fact is that what you should know is that your baseball club and your manager has the respect of the highest level of caliber guys that you're trying to bring in here, regardless if it works out or not. So the fact is, if it works out or it doesn't work out, whatever game plan, Correa might want the money, might not can offer or whatever, but he knows exactly what the direction that A.J. Hinch is going, and I think he's just sort of pleading his case. Just what we could do, and this is my direction. Now, why I say that is because Correa knows how A.J. Hinch operates because he's worked for him. He's worked under him. So whatever he's playing out, and Correa's in a position where he knows his worth, and then he's got to decide. Because anybody at the end of the day, just because you want somebody doesn't mean they want to be there. So the bottom line is every rock is unturned. Every conversation is had. And at the end of the day, if he does or he doesn't sign here, you have a manager that has the respect in baseball to at least get these conversations. What else do you want?
Yeah, I want him here. That's what I really want. But it's interesting to hear because from a fan perspective, when you see something like this, you're like, they're talking. All right, it's going to be a done deal. But you guys are saying from a player perspective, this is just kind of like a first date. That's essentially what that was. Like, hey, they already knew each other. They were familiar with each other. But at the end of the day, nothing massive came out of it. It was like you said, they could either be discussing plans or just catching up like old friends, right?
The money comes from the general manager.
Yep.
Right? The game plan and the game comes from the baseball manager. This isn't him sitting with Al Avila talking dollars and cents. This is them probably talking baseball.
Philosophy, maybe.
Probably talking football. Saying how bad the Texans suck. Who knows what they're talking about? Do you get it? It's just the fact that he's having the conversation. Because a lot of times, all these free agents or whatever, they're talked through their agents.
Right.
Their agent talks to the general manager. This gives me something that, from the outside, there's a respect that's looked at A.J. Hinch and the Tigers that we didn't have in the past before A.J. Hinch got here.
Yeah, I love that connection that he has with Correa. I mean, even though it was a part of the cheating scandal and all that, but I think that's all behind everybody at this point. A.J. Hinch proved he was a solid manager last year, making a pretty damn good team by the end of the year out of the pieces that he was handed. And we need a shortstop desperately. And this has to be our number 1 target, number 1, 2, and 3 target. Like this to me, I'm all in on Correa.
So maybe what A.J. Hinch was going is with our Eduardo Rodriguez and the pitching that we're further ahead. You have maybe A.J. selling them under that, hey, we're close. We're really close. Tucker Barnhart at the, behind the plate. Maybe he's telling them that we're only a couple years out. Who knows what they're talking about, but the fact is they're talking. They had lunch. They went from breakfast to lunch.
Yes.
The big question is, what'd they have? Think they had French toast, Joint?
Yeah, they definitely have French toast.
Yeah, because that's get you thinking right.
French toast.
Get your mind right.
Had the scrambled eggs with cheese.
Ooh.
They probably had the chicken sausage. The chicken sausage. They probably had the chicken sausage.
Maybe the turkey sausage because
it side of orange juice with the pulp, freshly squeezed.
So at this point, we're just up here guessing what was going on.
On this show, it always goes to food. On this show, it always goes to food. Freshly squeezed, little pulp. They drained
orange
it.
Cassie
They strained it out. They strained it.
Well, I'm happy to see our upper management at least reaching for him and talking to him and getting this discussion going. I'd rather see this picture come out and then me overreact to it thinking it's a good thing than never seeing anything like this, that they met or anything like that, and it's all behind closed doors.
So, it's all behind closed doors.
Do you think that they went public with it, that it means something, or no? Just it is what it is.
I think the fact that they're not hiding anything, right, is more the transparency of, like you said, we are in no position to sort of back it because of the beating the drum, and so they're trying to keep everything legit, but it also gets people talking, and it might speed up somebody else. If you're in New York and I don't know what's going on, but you're like, dang, doesn't it sort of like make you like, man, he's on a date with him?
Yeah, well, and that's what one of my fears is. Correa's using us, so because sometimes people do that. Well, I'm going to go on a date with this person to make that person jealous.
That could be it too.
All of a sudden, Correa's offer went from $400 to $450 to $500 million, all because he sat down with A.J. Hinch, and we're just sitting over here being pawns. I don't want that. But we got to open up our pockobook, man. That's the one thing that's missing.
And that's the thing. Do you think he went? A.J. Hinch went to Elevira and said, "Listen, we got to get this guy here. Crack open that checkbook, and whatever we need to do to get this guy here, let's do it."
I think they have to know that, right? Like, they have to know that their payroll is in the lower third of the league, that when they were competing for World Series, we were in the upper 5 of the league. I mean, we were spending almost $200 million a year. We're not even close to that now, and the results show on the field. So I think the pressure's enough on Avila. The pressure's enough on the Ilitch organization to finally open up that checkbook. But they got to do it at the right time, right? Opening up a checkbook and just throwing $200 million to somebody when your team's crap doesn't really do you anything. They're building. They have nice young players. Now you add those centerpieces, and we got something here over the next couple years.
Well, you do. I mean, look at, and plus, I mean, even if you say we're diminished a little bit in the minors, but we got top prospects in Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson, and Dingler's down there too. So in the past, like we have a few guys that were mixed in, and now we're looking at the starting lineup, and you got all these younger arms. You just added another one. You got a 2-time Gold Glove catcher. Man, it's right. See, the tickets are coming on a little bit closer, but they're putting that competitive team in, and it's just interesting because again, what do you see? They're building,
right?
And now, is it this the time, right? If you can get him and to fork out that big money. If it's in the direction, like you said, this might be the time. And maybe that's what Correa needed to hear. Hey, we're further along. Maybe he's selling them. Right? You don't understand. We got this.
Whatever pitch they did to Pudge Rodriguez back in the day, just copy that and do it for Correa. Because to me, Pudge was the whole reason our whole franchise turned around. Because when Pudge came, then Ordonez came, then Polanco came. Like, he opened up that door and made us a legitimate team.
And you bring a great point, too. What does that open up when you bring a guy in? Who else does it bring? Because usually it brings his friends.
Yeah. But that's usually how it works. Like, these guys, they're friends. It's a small circle, right? It's a small circle. So I'm gonna pick up the phone. All right, I'm gonna call. Hey, what you think about doing next year? What you think about going? All right, you have like all these guys who get on the phone, like like LeBron does it. He'll have AD over for dinner. He'll have Russell Westbrook over for dinner. He'll have Carmelo over. He'll have all these guys are coming over. And then, and then all of a sudden, boom, they all on the Lakers. They're recruiting. Like, who was that guy on the Tigers that he's going to call a few of his friends up and be like, hey, let's.
Well, you would hope Miggy.
Right? You would hope Miggy.
You would hope Miggy.
Right. And Miggy's on the tail end right now. He's on the tail end. But, He
calls Correa and he's like, listen, man, I got 2 more great years in me. Come here and let's get this World Series.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
You can say you play with me.
Right. Triple Crown winner, MVP. I love Miggy still. I know he's a shadow of what he used to be.
No, but
people complain what we're paying him, but it's like, that's retroactive pay.
Forget this.
He's paid for what he's done.
Yes, and here's the thing. What did you see last year with the manager? You saw engaged Miguel Cabrera through the whole season. That's what I like. You know what? And whether that, because when he's engaged, it goes through the rest of the team. And yeah, it'd be nice to see him give him one last shot, but he needs a team around him.
Well, we're building that team through the farm system, and hopefully we can build it through free agency like we're doing right now by courting these people. Yeah.
Detroit roots.
Yeah, I mean, our farm system's great, but that's what happens when you get the number 1 or number 2 pick for the last 5 years. You should have a good farm system. And we do, so, props to picking the right guy at number 1 or number 2, because as we've seen in the past with Detroit sports, sometimes we miss on that pick, and it bites us. Well, I can think of one number 2 that on everybody's brain right now that we missed. That's for sure. The Detroit Pistons, Darko Milicic. It's gonna sting us forever.
Oh, good. I thought you were talking about number 3.
Number 3.
Well, looks like we might have missed. Well, it's still not for third over. Not basketball.
Oh,
I mean, we can go through.
Well, Okuda. You're talking Okuda now.
Look, you said it.
That looks like a swing and a miss. But that's injury, so I have a rough time critiquing a guy who has an injury. But it looks like the Pistons nailed Cade Cunningham, so maybe our fate is turning around here in Detroit.
Absolutely.
It would be nice. Yeah. What's that? Oh, yeah. Sewell at 7 was a steal. That was a steal. That was a steal, baby. Uh-oh, fish. Well, let's do this. Let's talk about Guardian Alarm, because if you want to seal your fate, make sure that anybody that tries to break into your home is caught on camera and you can catch them, and that way, no way will you ever be at risk again. Guardian Alarm is the best system in the city. Whether you want to protect your home or check your carbon monoxide or anything like that, make sure you go Guardian Alarm. They are the first and foremost in home protection. And all you got to do is call 1-800-STAY-OUT. D-Mac, I know I accidentally just stole this from you, but what do you do? 1-800?
Stay out.
There it is. 1-800?
They need
Stay out.
I'm sorry, Fish. I messed this whole thing up, but call 1-800?
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Guardian Alarm.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
What is it, Fish?
Stay out.
Stay out.
I love that. And shout out to everybody at Guardian Alarm, a local company here, too. They're right on Southfield. Great people. And they've been doing it forever. Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
I need Guardian Alarm because you guys stealing my Guardian Alarm read. Gosh darn it, I need it over here. Absolutely, Dalber, you're right.
I'm sorry, D-Mac.
Don't be sorry to me. Be sorry to Fish, right?
Yeah. Fish, you know I love you and I apologize immensely.
Ready, Fish? Let's give them one. 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
For the people in the back, Fish, 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
There it is. Get out of his gosh darn house. I need Guardian Alarm
my trap house.
right here around my square now. Wow, take them
That's
everywhere.
hilarious, bro.
Remember.
That's hilarious.
All right,
I love
it's
it.
Friday. We got about 20 minutes left in the show, so it's time for some BDE Pick'em. Lots of college games happening this weekend, along with some professional football games that we're going to get into. But let's start with the college end. You got number 20 Arkansas at number 2 Alabama, 20.5-point spread on this. Who you taking, Arkansas or Alabama?
Got Alabama in this one. Obviously, getting down to the nitty-gritty, they got to say their dominance. They're not happy about being number 2. They're still working off that. So I got them handily in this game.
I have Alabama, and then I also have Detroit Dabber 3-on-3. If you don't want things stolen from you like D-Mac, get Guardian Alarm.
Or better friends, the Dr. Detroit said too. I need both.
Stick. You have one job.
Both things can be
man,
true.
I'm from Detroit. I steal things. What do you want from me?
Hoo-ha.
But who you got? Alabama in this game?
Hey, I got Alabama.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it's
they got to bounce back.
Tough to bet against Saban, but even though, I mean, a 20.5-point spread is a lot against the 20th ranked team in the nation. But listen, it's Alabama. They're a machine. This is what they do. They play football. Then we got SMU at number 5, Cincinnati. Only 11.5-point spread.
Bearcats.
The Bearcats, yes, sir.
For the Bearcats to have any inkling for anybody to bring it up, they got to start routing teams, right?
Yes.
So they got to route, like you put 30-point win on this just to outside to go, because we've talked about it all the time. They're planted their flag and they're stuck on Antarctica like at number 5. They're not going to move. So the way that things can move around them, that's the best play. So I got Cincinnati by about 25.
Joik, what you got in this matchup?
I got Cincy, and I have them winning by 18.
Okay.
18, for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you, D-Mac.
They have to.
This team, if they want to even make a case, because right now they're not even making a case. Like the last 2 games, they fumbled through. They could barely win against unranked teams. And if you want to say that you belong with the big boys, you better be punishing these teams like they don't even exist. It should be like a high school team playing an 8-year-old little league team when you go out there on the field if you're Cincinnati. They need to win by 30 points for them to be taken seriously. I think they're going to cover the spread, but it's been tough. They really haven't done a great job of doing that all season long. Then let's get into another big boy playing. Number 3, Oregon versus number 23, Utah. Utah is -3 in this game, which I think is an interesting spread.
Well, it is at home and stuff like this, but I thought this was a game that Oregon, this will jumble it up. This is the game that Oregon loses if they don't lose this game. But I like this Utah team. They're number 23. I think they're a little bit better than that, but again, I think a lot of it you have to look at the line. And Vegas is telling you, because you wouldn't expect that with the rankings of it, but they know something. This is they know something.
What do they
I'm
know?
going Utah.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's look
Utah's
at
-3 at home. They know either how tough Utah is at home or they don't believe.
So you have them just covering, or you have them winning?
Well, they have to cover to win.
So
Utah's -3.
Yeah,
that's
Utah's favored in this game.
Utah's favored at number 23.
Oh yeah, because the minus may play. I'm still learning how to
I got
bet.
to give the number 3 team in the land 3 points.
Okay. So because I'm still taking betting 1-on-1 with D-Mac.
That's right. You teach me crypto, I'll teach you betting.
Yep. This is great.
Here, I'll do the bets and you do the crypto, and at the end of the day, I'll be coming to you for the betting money.
There we go.
Okay,
that's fine.
All right, sounds great.
As long as we're all making money in this building,
as
baby.
long as we're all making money, keep it in the family. But I have Oregon winning this game. I don't see them losing to Utah.
Yeah, it's really crazy to me when you look at the number 2 matchup versus number 20. There's a 20.5 spread between Alabama and Arkansas. Then you look at number 3 and number 23, and you got number 23 favored by 3 points. So to your point, D-Mac, Vegas isn't there because they lose money. Vegas is there because they know something. Maybe Oregon's starting quarterback's girlfriend sleeping with the lineman, and it's causing chaos. And like these are the little things that Vegas guys find out, and that's what makes the spread. Listen, if you're the starting quarterback for Oregon, I don't know about your girlfriend, so please don't go through her DMs right now.
But D-Mac does.
Allegedly.
But D-Mac does.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Utah to the bank.
All right.
Moving on, you got Iowa State at number 13, Oklahoma. Oklahoma minus 3.5. Who you got, D-Mac?
I hate Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I just don't like that team. You know, they proved themselves last week, so I'm an Iowa State. That's sort of like one of my – I like the way they always play. Like, it's not pretty or whatever, but they go out there to give the effort. So that's one of my states. I like their colors, too.
Yeah. Who you got, Joik?
I have Oklahoma.
Oklahoma?
Yeah. I mean,
they should win and cover pretty easily.
Yeah. I mean, they winning. I mean, you can't hate on them.
No, I know.
You can't. I mean, you can't hate on them.
Oklahoma's got a sneaky good program.
Yeah,
and the quarterbacks that they turn out is crazy.
Yeah, but they're just they're disappointing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You don't think so?
I mean, you have, you know. I mean, in college they play well. Like, in college they go to NFL.
Yeah, because
like, I mean, Baker. You know, like Baker. I mean, he's doing okay. He's doing all right. You know, but is he?
No, I'm not a Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like who? Like that went into the NFL and they have. It's similar to say a Ohio State.
Yeah.
Similar.
The program's good. They put out good college products, but once they get to the pros, they're not.
Yeah, as far as quarterback,
Yeah. I'm really disappointed in Spencer Rattler this year. Like, that was the guy that everybody was talking about who the Lions should be targeting, and now we should be targeting him maybe in the 4th round, not first-round pick by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I mean, but that's the thing, though. Like, you want to get the best talent, right, for each round that you – like, if we need a certain position, but – there's no one coming out at that position that's first round worthy. We need to go ahead and get just go draft talent. Don't draft and that was kind of our issue when we got Ebron, because we drafted because we needed a tight end because we thought we needed to win right now.
But we didn't need a tight end. What we needed to do was insulate Ndamukong Suh, take Aaron Darnold, and understand that our defensive line was the whole reason those teams were dominant.
I understand what you're saying, but they wanted to win right now.
I know, but you draft a guy with hoof hands, and it just doesn't matter.
It goes back to the Belichick. Are you in a position to draft system? No, you have to draft talent right now because you haven't built it yet. You're in New England, where it goes down to what Joik says, who's the best player for the system at this position? Right now in Detroit, we need talent. That's to your point.
We definitely need talent. All right, now on to the local games. Number 7, MSU versus number 4, Ohio State, minus 19. Number 7 versus number 4, minus 19, which is crazy to me.
The thing is this is going to be a mentality game, and it can go either way. It can be worse than 19, right? Or it can be close. But that's going to be solely dependent on how MSU comes out and how they attack this game at the beginning. If they can come out early in the game, if they can get Kenneth Walker going, they can come out, like I said, if they win the coin toss, take the ball first. Go down, score, let them know that you're here.
Right.
You know, let them know your dominance, and we're coming for you, and make it a shootout game as far as running. But if at any point in the game, if Ohio State goes down there and scores and they get up by 2 or 3 scores and they have to throw the ball and it takes Kenneth Walker out of the game, then like I said, it could be worse than 19 points. So it's tough. I have Ohio State winning, but I really don't know what MSU team we're going to get. Are we going to get the Purdue game, or are we going to get a game similar to Michigan? I don't,
I hope they win, man. I really do. Oh, yeah. D-Mac, who you got?
I got Michigan State,
To cover or to win?
Well, to cover. You give me 19. That's what you asked me right now. I hope they win, but I think that they're going to keep it closer.
Want to put eggs on it?
I'll put eggs on the 19.
19.
All right, you got it.
I put eggs on the 19.
Eggs on Monday. Yeah, I got to eat healthy. That's the only way Joint can get me to eat healthy. Is he's got to bet in the Kaya Bowl next time.
Now listen. When you order my eggs,
yes, sir.
Make sure it's scrambled with cheese, and then it's to go.
At 10:50, you bet.
Cheese, eggs, and Welch is great.
10:45.
Yeah, 10:45.
All right.
All right. Number 6, Michigan.
It's gonna suck when you're gonna have mine here at 10.
Number 6, Michigan at Maryland. Maryland is getting 15 points. How you feeling about this one, D-Mac?
Don't think that's enough for Maryland. I think Michigan, not only preparing, but not looking ahead because they know it's task at hand.
Yeah.
So I got Michigan.
What about you, Joik?
And what's the spread again?
It's Maryland is getting 15, so Maryland plus 15.
Plus 15?
Yep.
No, it'll be more than that for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Okay, McNamara, the time, the preparation, and Maryland's coming off that gruesome loss. Michigan has it.
Yeah. Well, Michigan, to me, their pass rushers are insane. Their bookend defensive linemen are really going to put a hurting on Mini Tua, and I can't see Maryland even hanging in this game. I could see a shutout happening this game, the way that Michigan State was able to handle them last weekend. That blueprint's out there, and they have Panashuk, who's great, but he's only one defensive lineman. Michigan has a plethora of them, and they are going to take it to Mini Tua. So I got Michigan covering that 15.5, like a 21-0 blowout is what I'm picking.
That's it? 21?
Yeah, 21. They're going to ground and pound them.
Okay.
They're just going to take their heart, take their soul type 21-0 game.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah. Like it's only 21, but it's an ass beating 21.
Right. Feels like 60.
Yeah. Yep. One of those types of games. Now, Big D Pick'em for NFL. We will do that coming up next. We'll go over a bunch of NFL games, and if you're looking to watch the NFL games this weekend, well, there's 2 places for you. If you want to be a part of our pregame show, we are going to be out at O'Toole's. It's going to be a fun pregame. I'm going to be there. Maz, Braylon Edwards, Kennedy, and of course the lovely Jade from 101 WRIF as we simulcast the pregame show. And then the postgame show, which I'm begging, pleading, asking the Lions to please let me do a postgame show where we're talking about a victory. I haven't been able to do one yet. We had a bottle of champagne ready to go last week. Just didn't come to fruition, but we're down at the Brass Rail. So if you want to come watch the game and be a part of the postgame show that we start at the 2-minute warning of every Lions game, make sure you come down to the Brass Rail, have some pizza, and hopefully we're popping champagne Sunday.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network and, of course, on the Roar as you're listening in your car right now. And make sure you download our app, too. It's available in Google or Apple Play stores. You can get it. It's free. Just search WSN Live or just search Woodward Sports in your app store. And you can get that app and listen to us anywhere. So let's get into some NFL games. We'll breeze through the non-Lions games because I want to spend a little bit more time on the Lions. Colts at Bills. Bills -7. Who you got?
You know what? I got to take the Bills Mafia at home. I know that they lost earlier this year to Jacksonville, but it's getting a little bit colder. I liked what I saw last week, so I'm gonna take the Bills.
The Bills? Who you got, Joy?
I got the Bills this game.
Yeah,
I got the Bills this game. Josh Allen is. We're going. I can't. Not against the Colts. Not against the Colts. Yeah. Not against the Colts. I think this will be a good bounce back game. Stay on track, and I don't see the Colts even sticking with them.
Yeah, the only way I see the Colts,
what's the point? What's the spread?
The Bills are favored by a touchdown. But the only way I can see the Colts hanging is if Jonathan Taylor has another 200-yard game. Like, he needs to dominate the ball, keep that Bills offense off the field.
And he has been playing. Woo! I mean, is he like 100 yards ahead of everyone else aside from Derrick Henry, who hasn't played in the past couple weeks?
He passed Derrick Henry in fantasy points last week, so he's now officially the number
but rushing yards, though, they're equal.
Let me look real quick.
I think they're equal right now. I think they're both at 937. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Is he the guy right now that Henry's out? Like in
he is
your
the guy.
eyes?
Yeah, he's the guy. And then behind him is Chubbs, and Chubbs is I think
back.
he's back now, and so I mean if Jonathan Taylor continues to play the way that he's been playing, he might be the rushing leader.
Yeah, he should be.
Year.
I love Jonathan Taylor. I
loved him coming out of Wisconsin.
Oh, he's so fast, man, and so big. Runs upright,
I'm still upset though because I really wanted to see Derrick Henry eclipse that 2,000 mark. He was on pace to eclipse that, and if he had some eye-popping games, he might could have got the record.
All right, let's run through these real quick. I just want the names of the team you think are going to win. Packers at Vikings. Vikings are plus 1.5 points. Who you got, D-Mac?
Packers.
Packers. Who you got, Joey? Packers.
Yep.
All right, Cowboys at Chiefs. Chiefs minus 1.5. This is going to be a high-scoring affair. I'd take the over on this, whatever it is.
Over 83.
Yeah.
I got the Cowboys.
You got the Cowboys?
They're at home. I'm going to take Kansas.
Okay. I mean, they had a get-right game last week. Patty Mahomes throwing for 5 touchdowns, so we'll see if they can keep that up. Cards versus the Seahawks. Seahawks plus 2.5.
No Kyler Murray?
He's back and forth. It's
I
not official.
I gotta go. Russ bouncing back. So the Hawks at home. I know they're not the same Hawks, but I'll take the plus 2.5.
I'm gonna go with Cardinals.
Cardinals?
I'm going to go with Cardinals.
Yeah, James Conner's the man. And then we got Steelers at Chargers. Chargers minus 6 in this game.
I got Justin Herbert for sure.
Herbert, that's your boy?
Herbert. I got Herbert.
I like Herbert too.
I'm doubling down on Chargers on this one after seeing what Pittsburgh couldn't get by Detroit.
Yeah, if last week was any indication of what Pittsburgh is, that's not a good team. All right, and here we go. Lions at Browns minus 11.5, and that line has gone up since Chubb has been announced as being active. You think the Lions can pull it off?
I got the Lions.
I got them to cover.
You got them to cover?
I got them to cover.
I got them winning.
You got them winning straight up. You're taking money line Lions.
Yeah. What's money line Lions?
Straight up.
Straight up?
Yeah.
The money line on the Lions joint, let me just tell you, that means that if they win outright on the MyBookie, doesn't tell me right now.
Is it minus 110 or 130, something like that?
No. It would be, let's see, a 6.5 is plus 240.
Oh, all right.
270. I'll find it. Keep going.
All right.
So it's probably plus 400, 425.
That's a good bet. I would take that bet.
Yeah.
Put down 100, get back 4. It's not bad.
They got to win outright.
Yeah. Well, the Lions, Browns, I like the Lions. I like them every week, though, so don't take my opinion. I'm a biased fan, and everybody knows that. But honestly, the Browns' defense has been, dreadful, historically bad. So if the Lions can't get anything going on offense this week, it's going to be just a bad, bad omen for the rest of the season. This is the week they got to take it to them.
I'm excited because to see somebody else under center that I know can throw the ball. Now, I know he's erratic. He's proven that, but he can get it downfield. So we're going to see something different. Hopefully we see the running game, but hopefully we see them develop whatever game plan to help Tim Boyle get into this, and we got a chance.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Team's galvanized to be around Tim Boyle?
I'm going to tell you right now. Everyone right now who want this number 1 overall pick are biting their nails now because they don't know what they're going to get out of Tim Boyle. They don't know what they're going to get. So Neil is sitting there nervous. He said he needs to do everything within his power to make sure, get the team around him, do everything in your power to make sure that they do not win this game. Everything.
I hate that mentality, man. I absolutely hate that. I love Neil, but I hate that mentality.
No, that's probably the upper management mentality, right? Because what gets you further along quicker? I mean, it's just the reality of it. It's not the sports. You got to separate.
It is the reality, but it isn't the reality because, look at all the top quarterbacks that were taken in this year's draft. Mac Jones has more wins than all of them. So, just because you take the guy number 1 overall, it gives I understand.
You the value,
but you still got to draft correctly,
right? Or trade,
right?
I want them to have it so they can trade if there's nobody up there. Then they can have 4 picks in the first 33 instead of 3.
Yeah.
Remember, hey Sawyer. Remember, guys, going into the weekend, it don't matter. It don't matter it don't matter because this baby will be moving up on Monday.
Yep, it'll only be number 10 of 34. What, honestly, at 34 games is when you're going to give your real judgment, or like what in that 34?
Everybody will know where we're at.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that's when the Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes clock to me starts.
Okay.
All right, so they come back. So they come back and they go 8-8. Would you be happy with that?
I'm
after
happy.
that 34?
It doesn't matter. I can't if I'm going to wait 34.
No,
then I
that's
gotta
what I'm
see
talking about.
program.
That's what I'm talking about. 34. Like after 34, right? That doesn't mean you're going into year.
because
You're going
I
into
gotta-
year 3. You're going into year 3 now.
Yeah.
So you're going to year 3. You go 8-8. Would you be happy with that?
9-8.
No, 9-8 or 8-9.
Yeah, they get because that means they're closer to the playoffs. That means baby steps. Because next year, what do you expect?
It's so
That's
crazy.
year 3. It doesn't matter. They could be.
I'll be
better
happy.
before that.
But I would be happy
I would
with
be happy
8-9
because that's progress.
or 9-9 or 9-8.
So you're telling me year 4, as we end this, we're a playoff team, and we're gonna not just be a playoff team. We're gonna be back.
It's just crazy that it's going to take us 5-6 years to get back to what they fired Jim Caldwell for. Like 9-7.
Not
awesome.
Hey, listen, not they wasn't there yet.
That's a great way to leave it.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great
Deuces.
weekend, everybody. One more time, Joint Gang Gang.
Gang.